headphones.
Good evening, everyone.
Woo, this is a different Monday night. Yes, we are live.
Yes, we are. And welcome to Unique Couples.
Yes.
Passion, promise, purpose. Reigniting it all.
Definitely reigniting it all. This is the week. And we are celebrating National Marriage Week all week. And so we're all excited about all of the things that are happening. And we just came off an interesting conversation with none other than Nathaniel Butler of Drew Borson. So we were just there and we kind of like switched. We were on that platform on their Facebook through Zoom in and everything. It was like no time for a glass of water. And then we're like right back here on Unique Couples. We had an awesome time sharing. Yeah, so we were talking about.
Yes, we had a great time talking about financial intimacy.
Yes.
No more secrets.
Yeah, so if you missed the video, if you missed it, go ahead and check out Druber Solutions on Facebook and watch that conversation. You can also catch it Monday as well. Monday for all of the Mondays in this month. You could go ahead and catch the that conversation. And then last week they also had some wonderful guests on as well, the Davises. So go ahead and watch that conversation. Okay, you know how we do it here in Unique Couples, family, community. Let us know where you're watching from. Geez, I almost choked. Let us know. Yeah, and you have to be afraid to like cough or anything live or with everything that's going on. Hashtag live squad.
Yes. Hello, Ramona. Hello, Mikhail. Hello, Brenda. Hello, Violet. Hey, Mommy. Hello, Florina.
Get your treats from Simonac. Yes, she has some Valentine's special. Woohoo! Simonac, you need to put your number in chat. Yeah, so we're all excited. So I was saying live squad. If you're watching now, live squad, put hashtag live squad in chat. If you were watching the replay, hashtag replay in chat. We're all excited about tonight and making that money, honey, with Nathaniel from Juber Solution, who is here with us tonight. And this is going to be an awesome, awesome presentation. Go ahead and invite your friends. So if you have a couple and they're not here yet, go and let them know. They need to be on. We are on. So tag someone. I see all the good nights. Hello, Noblette. Which islands, which countries? St. Petersburg is here. Florida is here. Awesome. Not Miami, right?
No, St. Petersburg.
Yeah, Florida. Not Miami. Yeah, Florida. Live squad. Hello, Lynn. Hello. We are all excited, Brenda, to have all of you. Go ahead and tag your friends. Let them know that we are live and we are talking about money and the honey, because we don't want no funny money. We want the money to be sweet. Yes, and we want to talk about what we could do to increase that, make our Valentine's special as well this time, right?
Yes, because this is Love Week, and we know leading up to Valentine's. So we have our special guest, Nathaniel Butler, who's going to be talking about make that money. Honey. And you want to make sure you listen up and you want to share this. You want to make sure tell friends about it so they can be here.
Yep, definitely.
And then all of this will be leading up to the treasure hunt on Sunday, February the 14th, that big day, Valentine. So you want to surprise your spouse and let them know that you are going on a treasure hunt.
Yes.
It's going to be fun. Lots of fun.
Yeah. So if you're a quality time person,
yes,
we have a spot for you. This is definitely going to be something you remember for the rest of your life and enjoy. If you are a gift person, hey, you have gifts in there as well. If you're a physical touch person, we have you covered. If you're spoken language and you love the fact that, hey, you want to hear those words, make sure you bring your boo out because you're going to get some of those words as well. Did I miss anything? Yes, affirmation, you need all of those. And service, hey, come on out and enjoy the Unique Couples Treasure Hunt. Register. Go ahead and let's get that link in chat. Put the link in for us, Lynn. That'll be good. Hello, Eleanor. And then, of course, we're so excited, thankful for Shadra for sponsoring tonight's event as well. Shadra
Style
from
Me Pretty Total Hair Restoration and
yes.
the 17 Plaza.
Yeah, so we're all excited about that. Nothing happens without excitement. We use that word a lot. So that's like our word, excitement, excitement. But anyway, we have to let Nathaniel come on. We're all excited about Make That Money, honey. We're going to have our notes ready. Type your questions in chat. If you have any questions for Nathaniel, type your questions in chat so we can get to those. We'll have a Q&A after. Okay, so make sure you type your questions in chat. We are on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter tonight, and then we'll be here as well tomorrow. Every night at 8 this week. Okay,
Yes.
yeah. We have a special spicy session on Saturday too, but leading up to that, you have spicy sessions, and tonight is no exception. We are going to have an awesome time with Nathaniel Butler. Nathaniel, let's talk about some of the things with Nathaniel. I remember because I can talk. I don't want to take all the time, but Vito's gonna come and say all of whatever. But I remember our first conversation with Nathaniel, and he was just like exuding excitement. I said he needs to be a part of the unique couples family community team because he was like all excited, and it was supposed to be a short conversation, and that conversation I think we were home, we drove downtown, and we came back, and then we were like home again, and we didn't want to come off the phone because it was just so powerful. I was like, oh my god, this guy is so deep. And he was just going on, and then I was like, oh my goodness, that nugget's. We should have this recorded because he was just going into so much, and it was just a conversation where we were just doing it. So you are in for a treat. Nathaniel Butler, he is the CEO
of Druba Solutions.
Yes.
If you need a finance coach, you want to get Nathaniel.
Yes.
You can get a free 30
I know
minute
if he's offering
consultation.
it. I know because I know his time is So if he offers that, make sure you jump on it. I told you we had that conversation, and it was like boom, 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 all of the stuff, and we were just applying some of those things, and it has made a difference. Yeah. So we're gonna talk about finance a little more because hey, we learned some stuff from Nathaniel.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna turn it over to Nathaniel.
Personal finance expert, Druber Solutions. I think he has all that information with colleges and savings and helping persons get scholarship. This is the man you want to talk to if you're engaged, you're married, you're not so married. You need to make sure your money is not funny and keep this money sweet. So you need to definitely talk to Druber Solutions. Find Nathaniel Butler. He's going to make your money honey.
Man,
Yes,
hey,
yes.
thank you for such a great introduction. And one of the things is I feel like I'm at home. I feel like I'm at home because I'm with the unique couples. Am I still okay? I feel like I'm at home because I am with the unique couples. Now, let me tell you something. For those persons who are on this chat right now, and you love the community of the unique couples, what they have done, what they're doing, and you have been impacted by what all that they have to offer, I want you to drop a big yes in the chat. I want you, if you're being impacted, I want to see my live squad people. I want to see those persons who are attached to unique couples, those who are about the business of passion, purpose, and promise. I want you to drop a yes in the chat as a signal to say, this couple here have helped me. This couple here have provided me with information that is relevant. Let me see those yes inside the chat right now. All right, all righty. I see you, Lady Ramen, Lady Carly, Lady Wright. I see you. Okay, okay. The yeses are coming in. The yeses are coming in. So you know that tonight won't be no different from what you have experienced before. So let's jump right into it. I don't want to waste no time because I really want to get to the question and answer. I'm with my favorite couple, and I have no shame in saying it. I'm with my favorite couple, the Patricks, and they know it. There's no shame in it. And hey, you just got to accept it. So we're going to talk about how to make that money, honey. How to make that money, honey. But here's the interesting thing. Before we can even touch that, dissect that, analyze that, call up our friends, call up our spouses, and create a plan around that, we have to also be mindful of the world that we're currently living in. Now, unfortunately, I totally forgot that the Patricks are international. I totally forgot that they're international. So a lot of this information is geared towards the Bahamas. But here's the interesting thing. Principles are universal. They work anywhere. Principles are universal because they work anywhere. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do, there are 6 realities that we're facing right now. For the first time ever in the history of the world, the Bahamas is one of the first countries to implement our own virtual currency. We have a lot of Bitcoin, we have a lot of digital currency, but we're one of the first nations to legislate our own currency. The second thing is we have our credit bureau, what was implemented last year, and now the results or the reporting of the credit bureau will be released this year. As a part of the world, we have all experienced the effects of COVID-19. No one can say they have not been touched by COVID-19. You might not have the sickness or the disease or the virus itself, but it has affected businesses and jobs. And as a result of it, it has sent the world into a global recession. And we're still trying to discover where we are on the paradigm. Are we in the recovery, or are we still in the heart of the recession? And only the vaccine and the availability of the vaccine and the vaccine reaching as many persons as possible will determine how quickly we get out of this recession and strictly into recovery. Like I may have mentioned before, the business community is not the same. The business community is not the same. Businesses are closing. New businesses in the midst of this are opening. People have experienced job loss or reducing income. And as a result of it, governments around the world have implemented new regulations or tightened them, or even restrictions, with the intent to protect the public from a health standpoint. Last but not least, we talk about access to business assistance and social assistance. And oh boy, we need them more than ever before. But tonight, we're going to talk about how to make that money, honey. And this is the world that we're currently living in. But like Coach Ricardo always says, in this season, somebody is winning. Why not you? Why not you? But, Brother Butler, the bottom has dropped out for me and my spouse. Me and my wife are at odds with one another. You don't understand what it is like to be on a reduced income. You don't understand what it is like to be on one income. We went from 2 to 1. We went from 2 to 0. Listen to me. This presentation is more relevant to you than those with a secure job and income. But before we get into that, and I promise you, this is the last, and we're going to go straight into those points. I want to assess your current situation. So I want you, the live squad, I want you to rate your current situation from 1 to 5. If you feel overwhelmed, it's number 1. If you feel the struggle is real, then it's 2. Not good, not bad is 3. And for number 4, it's okay. And if you have no worries, I want you to drop a 5 inside the chat right now. Whether you're watching this by YouTube, whether you're watching this by Facebook, whether you're even watching this by Instagram, I want you to drop whatever number reflects your current situation. I'll give you few seconds to do that. Whilst you're doing that, let's get straight into it. Now, one of the things I realized in teaching about financial literacy to old and young, married and single, I'm talking about from the person who's about to retire to the person who's just entering the workforce for the first time, those in schools and those in churches, those in workplaces and those in community halls. One of the things that I realized that the ones who are more successful, it comes down to the simple understanding and principle. How is their relationship with money? Yes, you as a married couple, you might be experiencing some challenges and you might not. But the one thing I can say that each one of us have a little bit of a touch on is money scripts. Money scripts. What do I mean by it? The premise of your relationship with money is based upon your ideologies, your belief system, your value system that was created when you were born. Matter of fact, financial philosophers say that when a child reaches the age of 10, their financial foundation is established. So right now, you are being programmed from the age of 10 and not even aware what you're programmed with. What we deem it to be or call it is money scripts. Money scripts can often be unexamined, contextual. It can be even associated with trauma. It can be reinforced based on the people who are in the same environment, reinforcing the same money script. And it can also be generational. I'll give you a few money scripts if you just give me a second. In order for you to identify the money scripts, you have to identify how you view or your relationship with money. For example, there's some people who believe money is bad. This is not a joke. There's someone watching this right now believe that more money will make things better. There's some people right now, a spouse, a significant other believe that they deserve to spend the money. I've been through hell and back. I deserve to spend this money. And then there are some other people who believe that there will never be enough money. And there are some people who feel that there will always be enough money. And I hear you, Mr. Butler, but I don't think you should be having this conversation about money because money is unimportant. It is not nice to talk about money. What are you doing? Here's the challenge. In order for us to really make that money, we have to be comfortable on how our relationship is with money. Some people believe that it is not in their best interest to make the money. And even if they were put in a position to make the money, you'll find that they will sabotage themselves, prevent themselves from moving forward and making money, all because in their childhood, in that environment, whether it was in the home, whether it was at school, whether it was in the civic organization, or even just in the community alone, somebody told them that making money was bad. Somebody told them they may not be good with making money. Let me tell you something. If there's a thought that you feel that you cannot just overcome, I want you to document that and write that down. Whether a spouse has pointed out to you or you know yourself that you've been struggling with, I want you to write that down. You cannot change what you don't embrace. You cannot target what you don't see. The second thing and most important thing is once we identify our relationship with money, where we see the good, we enforce it, we keep it, we encourage ourselves in it. And where there's bad, we need to change it. But the second most powerful element in the earth, what I discover, is our emotions of money. The emotion that is attached to money. We could talk about tips, strategies, techniques, plans, all of those wonderful things. But if there is an emotion of anxiety, if there's an emotion of worry, if there's an emotion of depression because of a personal individual financial situation, I don't care what strategy you give a person, they're not going to embrace it. They're not going to accept it. I know people who are doing well and still feel anxiety. I know people who are doing well and still feel worried. And I couldn't wrap my head around it because the emotion that is attached to them in that moment does not reflect their current situation. If you're that individual and things are well and you're experiencing these emotions, one of the things that you need to come to grips with is the truth. Let's turn off the fear. Let's turn off all the bad and negative thoughts that people from the news or people who are around you are saying, and let's look at the truth. There is an emergency fund. There is a retirement fund. I do have an income. I do have supplemental incomes. I do have passive income. I do work or stay on a budget. I have my spending under control. I have insurance. I have a will. If all of these things check through, then there should not be a need to worry. But you have to see that. Now, for those who are on the other end of the spectrum, and you want to make some more money, but things aren't great, yes, you too have to identify with the truth. But we're going to get to you in a minute. There are some people who are excited and hopeful for the financial outlook, and that's a great thing. And then there's some couples knowing a shame and disappointment because they lack knowledge. Let me tell you something, you are not alone. The best of the best lack knowledge as well, because you have to remember, many of us was never taught about money. If your household, your parents or single parents or your grandparents or extended family never talk about it, how you expect yourself to be a master at it? You can only share what you know. And if nothing was ever shared in your environment, you would not know. But now we have the power to change. We have the power to embrace knowledge and act upon it, and your situation will change. As long as you never live in the moment of denial and avoidance, you will be fine. For example, I've met persons who have the ostrich effect, which simply means regardless of all truth and information that is in front of them, if it is perceived to be potentially unpleasant, I'd rather put my head in the sand. Yeah, we can let this thing pass over. I'd rather put my head in the sand. I don't want to hear that bad news, even though it's true. I put my head in the sand. All things will change in time. Sometimes it works, in most cases it doesn't. And I'm saying to that person, you're struggling with the emotions of money. You can be helped and it can be changed. Another group of persons, the hyperbolic discounting. Persons who believe that I should enjoy life today at the expense of tomorrow. I should live for the now at the expense of retirement. I should enjoy myself now at the expense of the next generation. Let me tell you something. At the end of the day, pleasure now, suffer later. Pleasure now, you could possibly even suffer later. And last but not least, and I can admit it myself, many of us, believe it or not, got the keeping up with the Joneses syndrome. I was trying to keep up with the Johnsons. Sometimes we put ourselves in the position to gather things what other people have to make us feel happy. And the thing about it is, when you acquire what they have, you will feel no happier than they do. Everybody is, when broke follow brokes, it only leads to desperation. But we came here to talk about how to make that money, honey. And in order to make the money, we have to confront these three elephants in the room. Because regardless of the strategy, if we don't handle our relationship with money right and our emotions with money right, all of the strategies mean nothing. Let's talk about it. Now, what do you have control about? One of the things I want to say to you is this. You, the only level of control, the only thing you have control over life is self-control. You have control over your time. You have control over your resources. You have control over your attitude. You have control over your responses. But it's so interesting that the poor man and the wealthy man both only have 24 hours. The difference between the two, the wealthy has activities that generate money for them, and the poor doesn't. For many of us, the reason why we can't make the money, honey, because somebody in our family, somebody in our community, somebody even in your own household might be living the door next from your bedroom, might be living off of you. Yes, I said it, living off of you. You ever met some people who know your payday better than you? They know the date better than you. When that date comes, the calls start coming in. And they begin to tell you of all of the problems that they have. You know what they sound like? An ambulance. One. There's some people living off of you. That's why you can't make that money. Because you're supporting a lifestyle that's not even yours. Attitude. Let me tell you something. When you have the right attitude, the law of attraction comes into play. When you have the right attitude, you have the ability to recognize an opportunity. When there's the right attitude, you have the ability to recognize the right opportunities. Last but not least, you have the ability to control your actions, deeds, and words. In order to make that money, Your action, deeds, and words have to come together. Now let's talk about earning that money now. Your number one power wealth building tool is your income. My question to you, have you raised your income generating ability to the highest level? Have you raised your income generating ability to the highest level? Oh, let me rephrase it. Who in your country or even outside of your country are looking for you? Who in your country or even outside of your country is looking for you? So, but what does this have to do with money? Let me tell you something. A great philosopher once says this: your gift will make room for you and bring you before who? Great men. When I began to understand the words of this great philosopher, I realized why the top basketball player would make more than a teacher. I understood for the first time in my life that the quarterback that got the MVP in the Super Bowl will make more than the firefighter. It doesn't come down to how important the activity the person is doing. It came down to what level of value they were offering the world. See, if you offer entertainment, people will pay a lot of money to watch it. If you offer to empower individuals, there are a whole lot of people who will reject it. This is why the level of income is so great. My question to you is, have you tapped into all of the talents, gifts, and skills that you have and raised the income level in each one of them to its highest level? If not, my friend, you can't make the money until the income level, income generating ability is to its highest level. This is why people go back to school. This is why people understudy someone else. This is why people, when they see an opportunity, they capitalize on it because they have the right skill set for the opportunity. That brings me to number two. Once you have income, because you gotta have income, you have to have income. But I can start this thing. Do you have income? No. But no, 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 no. Take care of your family first, and then we start to work on these investment deals or these investment projects. The second thing I need you to do is to work on your value. There are three core things that you need to keep in mind when building a business, when you're turning yourself into a business. Jay-Z once said, I'm not a businessman, I'm a business, comma, man. He understood the production of value. He was able to find a problem in the market worth solving. Do people have money to pay for this problem? Are they willing to pay for this problem? The second thing, create the solution for the problem. It's called the proof of concept, testing it out. And last but not least, how can I sell the solution to as many as possible? If you follow these three simple steps, I'm telling you, wealth will be your portion. Wealth will not be a stranger. And the good thing about it, where there's two, the power increase. I heard that story about what one put a flight and how much two can put a flight. And yeah, let me leave that alone. Number three, wealth generating vehicles. You have to acquire wealth generating vehicles. See, when you have the income, then you can focus on the production of value. And when you have the production of value and the income, see, the income deals with your basic expenses. The production of value will determine your lifestyle. And then when you tap into number three, the third level, acquiring wealth generating vehicles, that now allows the next generation to live in a legacy of wealth. You were in debt. The next generation don't need to know what that look like. You will now experience financial freedom. The next generation wouldn't even know what struggle looks like. Why? Because you have acquired real estate. You have it residential. You could have it in the commercial. You could have it long term. You could have it short term. Time won't permit it. I hope you got some questions. Drop it in the chat. But there's so many strategies around real estate. There's so many strategies around stocks, bonds, mutual funds. There's so many strategies around micro private equity. Why start a business and you can buy a business? Why start a business and you can buy revenue? You can buy a book of customers. You can buy cash flow and you can buy profits. Uh-oh. The bank will finance you buying a business quicker than the bank will give you money to start a business. Let me repeat that. The bank will give you money quicker to buy a business than the bank will give you quicker to start a business. Intellectual property, of course, and then we have the digital assets. I know that's a lot. I want you to take that in. But in order for you to take it in, the question I have for you is, can you afford your lifestyle? The lifestyle that you're currently living right now. If you're trying to make this money, honey, we got to make sure that we can afford the lifestyle that we currently live in. And if we can't afford the lifestyle that we currently live in, then there's some things that we need to do because we can make as much money as possible. But if we're not managing it right, it doesn't even matter how much money you make. All you did was spend all your money making money and didn't spend time enjoying it and enjoying your spouse. How to enjoy your spouse? Let's deal with this expense management. Anything in life, if you want to grow it, put it under management. But finances is that one thing with expenses. If there's lack of management, it can also grow as well. If you don't have management in the area of expenses, your expenses will grow. So let's talk about it. Consumption. This is the number one reason why people can't make money or come into higher levels of wealth because they live above their means. It's called or referred to as lifestyle inflation. As much as their income goes up, their expenses go up the same rate. And as a result of it, they never have money to save. They have never have money to meet their expenses. Number two, living within your means. You want to create that financial resilience. And then those who live below their means. Now, here's the thing some of us can only reduce our expenses to so much. And I agree. Once we get it to its bare minimum, the only other thing we can do is raise that income. You got to raise that income. But here's the funny thing. Number two, I have never seen the level of bondage until I look at people who are in debt. There's a book that I read so much, and I know the Patricks, they read it too. It says this: a slave is a borrower is slave to the lender. So many people are entangled with car loans, vacation loans, consumer loans, consolidation loans, and student loans that they cannot think straight to make money. They cannot enjoy life because they're always under the gun. There are some people who just work just to pay the debt, not even pay the bills. Let me tell you something. In order to make that money, every side hustle, every side job you can possibly do for a season, let's quickly pay off those bad debts. For a season, let's quickly pay off those bad debts. And when we pay off those bad debts, now we're in a position to go back to the power of our income, the production of value, and then we start the process of acquiring assets. But Mr. Butler, what you saying to me may take years. Wealth gathered very quickly will come to ruins. You don't want to build this thing too quick. You want to build this thing for the long haul. This is not a 400-meter sprint. This is a relay. What you build, you take the baton, you turn that over to the next generation and let them build on the legacy or foundation that you have established. Can you afford to give? So many people are tax giving to communities, giving to family, giving to work, and giving to church. Let me tell you something. At the end of the day, we have to manage our expenses and give what we can afford. If you're in major debt and everybody is asking for money, how can you give out of that? You got to manage your money right. Be comfortable saying no in the moments where you have lack. But as long as you continue to work on your income, I believe that there will always be seed. And as long as the seed is provided, come on, you just got to maximize it. And ensure that there's an emergency in fund. Ensure that there's retirement fund. And listen to me, it's good to have emergency and retirement. When these things are secure, make sure you have some fun as well. And make sure that there's money there to invest. Okay, now come on now. The key to managing the money comes down to the budget. And it's a four-step rule. All you have to do is list your income. And after that, list all of your expenses which you project to spend within that month, bi-weekly, or week. And once you do that, and the budget makes sense and it is practical and it's within your habits, Then all you have to do is, as you go about spending it, track it and stick to what you set out to do. Now, there's some people who are free spirited. They won't show up to no meeting if the person who was not free spirited call it pertaining to the money. No couple can win with money unless they're on the same page. The reason why a lot of couples don't win with money is because they're not on the same page. They're not even in the same book. There's not because one person is in left field. They was never even in the stadium. We have to come together, look at our income together, look at our expenses together, and see how we can work within it. No backdoor mentalities. We are now embracing financial intimacy, being one in the area of money, and more importantly, having no more secrets. Last but not least, and this is the last slide, acquiring wealth to your wealth building tools. After you have your income, generating the money, and then you start that production of value. You know, it's so important, but why is the production of value so powerful and so great? It can be applied in any country. It can be applied by any person. All you need the right attitude to recognize an opportunity, utilizing the 24 hours in the day that you have appropriately, and then making sure your responses line up, your deed, words, and actions. And last but not least, using your resources, there's no reason why you cannot tap into your wealth generating ability. And once you do that, all of these other stuff, such as a retirement plan, such as an estate planning plan, such as your risk management plan or your insurances, or even just your investments, you can now acquire them and you leave your family with wealth, not debt. Thank you so much. And I'm going to turn this back over to the Patricks.
Thank you, Nathaniel. And that was a lot of information.
Yes, yes. I told you you're going to get a lot in such a short time. It is definitely going to be impactful. So make that money, honey. I know we were taking notes. I want everyone to write their takeaway. We're going to have some questions for Nathaniel, and we definitely want to see your takeaways. Type that in chat for us. You have your takeaway? I know my takeaway. I love this. I love this one. Never heard it said quite like this. You can buy a business instead of starting a business. You know, yes, yes. The bank will lend you money
Yeah.
to buy a business
Bye.
quicker to buy a business than to start a business. Awesome, awesome, wonderful tip. So hey, you need to make that money. You're whether you're struggling or you want to advance and do more with your relationship in terms of the finances, go ahead, think of that, apply these tips. So go ahead and type in your takeaway. You need couples family, type in your takeaways, and we are going to have our questions. So while we do that, type your
Yes.
takeaway. What was the biggest takeaway for you? Everything may not be for you. You might not be able to try everything at once, but hey, if it's just something for you to take and to use, that'll be great. Brenda said, great presentation. Um, yes, you have to manage your money right, definitely. Okay.
All right. So, Nathaniel, the first question: how can you make the money for your honey in the short term?
Oh, you mean like short term, like Valentine's, or you mean just short term, regular short term?
Well,
you
it can
know,
be both Valentine and short term.
what's so interesting about that question is the fact that most persons would ask me how to make the money, and I usually take a mirror and just show it in front of them, put it in front of them, and say, no, I don't think I'm the person you should be asking. Literally, the person standing in the mirror, you have to ask yourself, what opportunity do you see right now that you have the ability to solve? One of the things I'm so happy that I'm a Bahamian. And what I mean by that is Bahamians are what I call problemologists. Bahamians are what I call problemologists. We can identify, dissect, talk, discuss a problem.
Mhm.
We can see it from a mile away. A problem. The only thing I'm asking you to do different this time is Look at problems that your skill set can solve. And the only other thing you have to do is see who's willing to pay the money for that problem to be solved, how big that market is. And if it's a sizable market, then the only other thing you need to do is figure out how can you bring forth the solution in a profitable way. Once that is done, oh man, all you be doing is making the money. And what's so
Mm-hmm.
beautiful about
Mm-hmm.
it is when you're a couple, you don't only have to look at your strengths, you can look at your spouse's strengths. I know some persons right now. I know a lady right now. She is a baker. Husband came into the picture. She was baking. Husband say, "Hey, let's create some baking products for people who are diabetic." Uh-oh. Big market.
Mm-hmm.
Diabetics, they still want to eat the same food they was eating prior to coming to the discovery of their chronic illness. Now you're creating a product just specifically for them. Oh man. Oh man. So every single person on this chat can tell me right now, I had this idea, I have that idea, because they see problems in their environment. The only question I have to ask them, do you have the time to solve it? Do you have the resources put aside to solve it? Do you have the right responses, and do you have the right attitude to attack it? And once all of those boxes are checked out, man, look here, stand back. Them people, flag, flag, stand back. They're playing about the line because they about to make some money in that area.
Awesome, awesome. Love it, love it, love it. We see the hearts come in, show the hearts um, in chat. Um, Deborah says the only way I can win with money is to be on the same page with my spouse and work together. They are definitely feeling that. I love that solution. I definitely have to watch that again. Definitely. I love that response. Mm-hmm.
All right. So our
Think about.
next question.
But hold on, hold on. You know, we really, really are good at that in a good way and a bad way with that problem. You know, you've seen the problem, talk about problem, and never get to the solution. But if we could solve, not just think about the problem, but think about the solutions to the problem. Oh my goodness, you are just creating
You creating wealth.
unstoppable wealth.
You creating wealth. The wealth that you could create, generations can't even spend it. I'll give you an
Awesome.
example. How many names that we know of inside our households today? But if you were to go back a couple generations, they were not even known. J.C. Penney's. You understand what I'm saying? Sears,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Gucci. These are last name Fendi. These are last name of men who saw and women who saw an opportunity and they capitalized that opportunity. And now their generation today can't even spend the money. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Eileen Pinder,
Yep.
Bamboo Shack. What are the collies working on? What are the roles about to
Ooh.
work on? I see the Patricks, they come in with something. I'll give you an example. I got a friend of mine right now, the Bastians, and the the Wilsons. They came together, they solved a problem here in the capital, in the Bahamas, Nassau, where they created a work shared space. Entrepreneurs needed a space to conduct business but didn't have the money to buy or lease a building at the rates they were going. They made that extremely affordable. Right now, right now, their children, if they continue at the pace that they're going, their children's children won't have enough money to spend. This is not far off. This is attainable. The only difference between those who have it and those about to get it and you, what actions are you taking? Are you going to continue to stare at the problem and talk about it? Or are you going to act on it?
Ooh.
Yep.
Actions matter. Actions matter.
Yes.
Have the habits. Definitely actions matter. Matter. Awesome.
Yep. So the next one is how can you be creative with your budget to enjoy this Valentine's Day?
Oh, man, listen to me. Being creative is a lot easier than I thought it was. I had a team member who said to me, the four gifts. All right. There's a budget process called the four gifts. Buy something they want, buy something they need, buy something they need to read, and buy something they were going to wear. When you look at those 4 points, of course, you say your budget is $100, your budget is $50. Believe it or not, you can almost buy a total of four gifts within a reasonable budget. And here's the kicker of it, most of these gifts will be sentimental.
Mm-hmm.
These gifts are going to be set, and so the impact of the gift is going to be greater than you buying something that's expensive and doesn't even touch the heart.
Mm.
So the question now is how to make it affordable. Let's focus on what is sentimental to them. And you'll be shocked and amazed. The response from a sentimental gift is greater than the response of an expensive gift. Because the sentimental gift says, you know me, you understand me. An
Yeah.
expensive gift only reflects that you have money.
That's powerful. That's powerful. So you want to get a gift that is sentimental.
They'll definitely enjoy, appreciate.
They will enjoy it.
Mm.
And you know the small things that count. You want to remember that.
Yes. You know, I have to plug in here. I'm so sorry. The treasure hunt is sentimental. They're gonna enjoy each and every part of that. So make sure you sign up for the treasure hunt. The link is in the chat.
Hey, let me tell you something.
Make sure you sign up for
Listen to
that.
me. Listen to me. Let me tell you something. It's amazing how many of us would go to dinner. We would present a gift to your spouse, and almost it's like routine. You could close your eyes, and 2021 will be no different than 2020 or
Mm-hmm.
2019 or even 2001.
Yeah. Blah blah
But
blah.
if
Same, same,
you
same.
embrace this scavenger hunt, woo, and
Memories
especially with the
galore.
Patrick,
And the
especially with the
after party,
Patrick.
like you say.
Because there will be an after party. Every time you around these people, there will be an after party. I have never met a couple that walk away with a sad face when they met them. When you come in contact with them, intimacy is exploding in your mind. So you gotta be there at the treasure hunt. It's gonna be different. It can be different. I'm gonna tell you that. It's going to be different. You better click the link and make sure you send it to a couple friends too.
Awesome, awesome. Thanks for that.
Yep. So I'm gonna show you guys something right now. So you want to make sure you are at the treasure hunt. Make sure you are at the treasure hunt. So just make sure you're there.
Awesome. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so definitely sentimental. I love that. I love that. Sentimental. For those persons who like receiving gifts, the ones will make a big impact as well. So think about that when you're planning. This week. Actually, it should have been something that you should have done earlier than this week because you're actually in the week, right? So if you were doing the budgeting according to what Nathaniel is saying, that should have been something that you had planned of and thought of before to reserve that money. And instead of trying to, and that's something we had to learn to get out of, trying to do one major expense in a month, like every month set aside a certain amount so that by the time you need it, you could have something built up as opposed to trying to find, $1,000 in 1 month instead of, breaking that down into, yeah, you all good
Everything
grasp.
becomes affordable once you have a sinking fund. Everything becomes affordable. I have a $4,000 expense. I have $1,000 expense. Okay, take that, divide that by 12, put that amount aside every month. And when that month comes up, when you need it the most, you don't have anxiety. You are excited because you're dealing with cash, no cards, cash. Anything and everything becomes affordable when you're using the sinking fund.
All right.
Awesome,
The
awesome.
sinking fund.
Yes,
You want to make sure I type that in the chat.
yes, yes, yes. Awesome.
The
This is
sinking
definitely
fund.
powerful, powerful conversation. We definitely need to have Nathaniel back. You will hear more about him and anything else we decide to do, you will definitely be the first set to know. If you are not on our mailing list, make sure you email us so that you can be a part of our mailing list and get all of the updates and upcoming events. We'll put that email address up. Yes, join. You can email us. I think we have one more question for Nathaniel. This is supposed to be a short conversation because we want you to come back tomorrow night at 8. The conversations are supposed to be short, you know. So, but we just had fun enjoying and writing and just knowing that, gathering this information and not just gathering it, because we're all about inspiration, motivation, and transformation. We need to see the change. So don't just take the information and do nothing with it. Use the information to help transform your finances, to transform your relationship, because we want the money to be there. We want the honey to be there. Yep. We want the money, honey. Yes, we want you to enjoy your relationship with your spouse and have the money to back it up as well. Yeah, so you can email us at uniquecouplesrekindle@gmail.com. You can email us, just say, hey, keep me updated. Yeah, so keep me updated. If you're interested in the treasure hunt, type treasure hunt in chat. The link is there. Type treasure hunt and we'll send you the link as well. And you can get registered to be a part. It's a live event and virtual. We have limited limited live spots. And then of course, virtually, we have a limited amount virtually as well, because it's only so much we can manage, and we want to be able to provide the quality that you need so that you can truly enjoy your time. So space is limited, so make sure you register tonight, tomorrow, but no, do that tonight, so you can be a part of that experience.
Yes. And Nathaniel, so this last one, do you need money to make romance happen?
Oh!
Whoa! Do you need money to make romance happen? Well, I'll say this. Um, for somebody who's dating and they're just starting off, you may not need as much, but as long as you're looking long term, the money is going to be needed for the consistency of the romance. Not saying that the level of your money will determine your romance. We're not saying that, but the level of your money will determine the comfortability to create opportunities for romance. If there is other concerns, trust me, it ain't gonna be much romance. I can tell you for a fact, when when the money is funny, you may go to bed and she might be wearing 3 layers of clothes. If the money is funny, he may not come home. You understand what I'm saying? And so we want to make sure that you can embrace romance, yes, by using funds. We don't want the romance to be heavily reliant on funds, but we do want the romance to be centered on the needs and unique needs of your spouse and understanding that. Because to be honest with you, it don't cost to say some nice words of affirmation if that's their love language. It don't cost you nothing much. It don't cost you nothing much to do some acts of kindness around the house, but time. It don't cost you much to even give a hug. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we just need to learn our spouse what triggers them, what's their strong points, what's their weak points, where their dirty language talks, their positions, and at the end of the day, man, embrace what God has created, man. The bed is undefiled, man.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
definitely,
All
definitely.
right.
So you'll keep it sweet, spicy, have the honey flowing. You need that in your relationship. And we are so thankful that Nathaniel shared so much great tips that you could use
Yes.
to improve your relationship with money, your thoughts, and your relationship with your spouse in regards to money. Yes, get
Yes.
that money right, like Lynn said.
Make that money honey.
Oh, yes,
Make
yes,
that
yes.
So,
money.
so Nathaniel, can you tell our viewing audience how can they find you?
Oh, definitely. So you can reach me at Druber Solutions. That's www.drubersolutions.com. Or you can reach us at info@drubersolutions.com. Or last but not least, if you're trying to reach or get in contact with us, you could always hit up the Patricks and they will forward their information on to us as well.
Yeah.
Now, there was
Definitely.
something that was said, and I want to bring clarity to it. So, for those persons in this community, I'm talking about the unique couples community because you're already unique. You're already unique in your own
Mm-hmm.
nature,
Yeah.
and you want to improve your finances. There's a special offer coming soon for the unique couples, only for the unique couples. So, if you're outside of the group, you can't get it. You got to sign up. You done heard the instructions to sign up. But we will release that a little bit later once everything checks out. And trust me, it's first and foremost, it will be free of charge. And secondly, not only it will be one session, it's going to be multiple sessions to ensure that you live out your uniqueness. I won't share no more. You will hear more from the Patricks
Awesome.
themselves
All
pertaining to it.
right.
The intimacy experts. I can't tell you. I'm always excited to be here, man. I'm always excited to be with you guys. And I do not take it for granted. I do not take it for granted. I thank God for Pastor Ricardo. And also, I thank God for the Patricks, man. And I love the work that unique couples are doing. I'm actually in the unique couples community, both my wife and myself. We have benefited tremendously. And Drupa Solutions is always here to be a resource for you guys. Thank you so much.
All right.
Awesome,
Awesome.
awesome. Thank
Awesome.
you so much, Nathaniel. Yes, yes. We see the loves, we see the hearts. If your friend missed it, if a couple you know missed it, let them go ahead and watch the replay. So go ahead and see that share button on your computer, on your phone. Click that share button so that it could share to so your contacts and everyone your friends could see it and watch the video. We don't want to keep the information to ourselves. We want to help other people. You want to help other people with their finances as well. You want to help other people improve their relationships because at Unique Couples, we enjoy doing so much, so much. Listen, register for the treasure hunt. Okay, okay. Link in chat. It's gonna be amazing. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Yeah. So we want to thank Nathaniel again for coming on tonight and talking about make that money, honey. And he gave us a lot of tips, a lot of nuggets. So we just now have to go ahead and do the work.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and do the work and continue to strengthen our financial future, our financial legacy. We want to go ahead and do that. And like he said, you can find him at jubersolutions.com.
Yes.
Any closing thoughts, Nathaniel, before we end?
Yeah, I do have one, and this is very critical. Let me tell you something. At the end of the day, you will only be as strong as the voice in the environment that you're in. And let me tell you something. If you're connected to this couple right here, the only thing could happen to you is that you remain unique in your relationship. Don't let them go because in today's world, there are very few people who will encourage you in your marriage. Let me say that again. There are very few people who will encourage you in your marriage, but there's a whole lot of people who trying to break up your marriage. So
Woo.
listen to me. Hold on to what you have here. Grow in your uniqueness, and at the end of the day, your haters will also be converts to being unique as well.
Love it, love it, love
Yes.
it. Oh my goodness. And this
Yeah.
time we have it recorded so we can always go back and listen to this, right? We have it recorded
Oh
this
man.
time. Awesome,
Yes.
awesome. We so appreciate Nathaniel and all of the work that he's doing with Druba Solution and even um with his family and yeah, we just love it, love it, love it. We are so excited to see what is happening or to hear about what is happening in your relationship. Nothing happens without excitement. Nathaniel is excited. We're
Yeah.
excited. You need to be excited
And
about your relationship, finances, and everything as
yes.
well. Definitely.
Yes. So Unique Couples Community, we will see you all tomorrow evening,
Yes.
8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Same place, YouTube, Facebook, and on Twitter. And like we always said, here at Unique Couples, we are building stronger couples, healthier marriages, and
Happier
happier families.
families.
So have a great evening and see you guys tomorrow.